Joining us now, Greg Colbert, owner of Steel Products Manufacturing, a family-owned business in Salt Lake City. Greg, thanks for joining us. I wish it was on better news.
Yeah, me too.
Tell me what it's going to mean for you to have a 50% tariff on steel.
Well, back in February, my steel prices were about 49.50 cents a pound. Right now, they're at about 68 cents a pound. And what that equates to in the product that I manufacture could be $1,600 to $1,800 just in increased cost of the material. And my customers aren't going to be very happy about that.
And you've been able to absorb the tariffs in the past. I mean, there was a 25% tariff levied a few years ago under the first Trump administration. And you've told us that it didn't feel good, but you were able to deal with that, right?
Yeah. Our business is very competitive, and $100 makes a big difference as to whether my customers are going to buy from me or someone else. So I have to always look, at what the bottom line is. I don't want to be a non-profit organization, of course. As a small business, I have employees that count on this job, and I'll just have to wait and see what my vendors do as far as the increases. I know most steel comes from Canada and Mexico, so I'm curious to see how my service centers respond.
You make steel rollaway containers. Are you confident, or do you have any confidence that American steel manufacturing will get up to speed fast enough to supplement or completely replace the Canadian market?
I don't. We barely made it through the pandemic, and those steel prices were almost $1 a pound, and there was so many shortage issues. I could not get material. I had to second and third source this material because there was allocations to my service centers, which means what I wanted, I couldn't necessarily get the quantities that I wanted.
Not to get political here, but we can't disentangle politics from this. You're in a red state. Congress does have the ability to push back on the president, try to take back some of the authority on tariffs. I mean, he's got provisions he can use, national security, et cetera. But Congress does have the authority to assert itself. Are you putting any pressure, or do you have a message to your representative in Congress?
Being so ingrained in a red state, I feel like my voice isn't heard. I didn't vote for the current administration, and I just don't think my representatives grasp the full impact of what these tariffs do to steel manufacturers.
How many employees do you have?
I have 6. We are a small company.
How many customers do you service?
Hundreds. We average about 230 roll-off containers a year, plus everything else that we manufacture for the construction industry. We do most of my containers go to customers that place them at construction sites. Some is residential.
So it might affect your 6 employees if you've got to raise prices. Say you get less business, you might have to lay 1 or 2 or more off. The businesses have to pay more for your product or anyone else's product they're going to go to. Steel's not going to get cheaper from the next guy, which means that the construction site is going to have to pay more, which means the person who's commissioned that construction, be it a commercial construction or a residential construction, is going to have to pay more for those materials. It's not just you. It's not just your employees. There is a cascading effect.
Yes, those costs I have to pass on to my customers. It's said all the time. That's where tariffs are applied. You're seeing it in retail right now, with the large box stores. They're having to raise their prices. You have a cost of goods, and I have to pass those costs on to my customers, which in turn, my customers are going to purchase less. I saw it during the pandemic. We repaired a lot of old containers because they didn't want to buy new because the price was just not feasible.
It has been a rough 5 years. Greg Colbert, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing us the real world impact of this. And I guess, I wish it was under better circumstances.
Me too. Thank you.
All right, Greg, thank you.